Yeah, I think I'm done with these live action remakes. Beauty and the Beast. So Beauty and the Beast, yeah, another live action remake of a Disney animated classic. If you don't know what it's about, I'd be really surprised. In this film, we have Emma Watson as Belle. She lives in a small French village and she's an outlier because she's a bookworm, she's very polite, in a town full of very small-minded people. So she gets caught up in adventure when she gets locked up in a castle by the Beast, and they have to learn to get along, and there's the utensils, Lumiere, Cogsworth, Mrs. Potts, you know the story, right? So now, okay, this movie. First off, I was never really looking forward to this film. Just from all the trailers, I just did not think the movie looked good. Really at all. But to their credit, I did not hate this movie as much as I thought I would, but I still didn't like it too much. First off, Emma Watson as Belle. She was okay. Not great, but not terrible, but I didn't really get any emotion from her character, really ever. And yeah, I'm gonna compare this to the original animation a lot because I love that movie. Like, Belle in the original, she smiled a lot, she was perky, she had something to say. In this film, I felt that she was Emma Watson playing Belle. She didn't even feel like Belle, she felt like Emma Watson playing Belle. That's what I saw in the trailers, and that's what I saw in this movie. And the Beast is one of my biggest concerns about this film because I've always said that he doesn't look beastly enough. You remember the Beast in the original animation? That dude was an animal. He was a monster, but you learn to love him anyways. This film, he just looks like a dude. He looked like a dude with fur. And he was awkward to me. Like, there are actually some parts where I felt the CG with his character was actually incomplete. There's a scene where he was walking towards the camera and he was like staggering a little bit. It felt like incomplete CG. It didn't look like he had a limp or anything. It looked like weird CG. But yeah, he just wasn't beastly enough. He didn't even sound like a beast. He sounded like a dude with a deep voice. Again, in the original animation, he sounded like a beast. And one of the biggest bummers about this film was that I felt no chemistry between Belle and the Beast. That's what the film is all about. Maybe I'm alone on this. Maybe people will agree with me, but I felt no chemistry between these two characters, these two title characters. I didn't see it or feel it. The utensils, on the other hand, are not as bad as I thought they were gonna be. In fact, they were probably my favorite thing about the film. I really liked Ewan McGregor as Lumiere. Lumiere was always my favorite character in the original animation because he is the best. He was like Baloo, you know, he knew when it was time to party. And Lumiere in this film, despite having a different look, nailed that character. Ian McKellen as Cogsworth I thought was alright. Emma Thompson as Mrs. Potts I thought was alright. And the songs. Okay, here we go. The songs in this film that are from the original animated film, I actually enjoyed in this film for the most part. I enjoyed the opening number, Belle, I thought that was really well done. I enjoyed the Gaston number in the pub. Oh, Gaston, Luke Evans as Gaston, I didn't feel that either. My friend Kevin disagrees, you'll hear that in our Real Rogues podcast. He loved Luke Evans as Gaston, I didn't so much. Josh Gad as LeFou. The controversy around him being gay in this film, I don't really get because I actually really like the fact that he was gay in this film. I actually thought it was hilarious and they used it as a means to add a different layer of storytelling. I thought it was pretty neat and it made for some really funny moments in this film, I'm not gonna lie. I really like Josh Gad as an actor. He's a funny dude and when he applies that to his characters, I get a kick out of it. He was probably my second favorite character under Lumiere. So props to Josh Gad in this film and the first openly homosexual character in a Disney film ever. But back to the songs, I'm gonna talk about Be Our Guest for a little bit because Be Our Guest was always my favorite song in the original animation. Whenever I watched the original film, every time I get to the Be Our Guest scene, I always rewind it at least once so I can watch it again because I have a blast watching it. I sing along, I dance around, and yeah, I thought Be Our Guest in this film was really well done. Again, I was singing along in my seat, I was dancing around, embarrassing my friend. And the title song, Beauty and the Beast, the dancing scene, I actually have mixed feelings about this scene because when it was first starting out, I was like, oh, the heartstrings, the feels, the song, the dancing scene, it's an iconic scene. I was actually tearing up a little bit, but as it went on, I was like, okay, it's not really elevating at all. There are no swooping shots, it was all just level, and it was just two people dancing in a really dull-looking ballroom, actually. It wasn't really bright or colorful for the most part. But there are also some new songs in this film, and I didn't really like any of them. I liked some of them in the beginning, but there was one song the Beast sings towards the end, I flat out hated it. Like, I actually genuinely did not think it had to be in the movie at all. I felt like it would have been better if it was not in the movie. It was terrible. Like, not good. No. And on top of that, there were some unnecessary new storylines that they added to this film that were just not in the original at all. Why were they in this film? I don't know. The only reason I can think of is to make the movie longer. This movie was definitely longer than it needed to be. It did not need to be over 2 hours long. These unnecessary new storylines, the bad decisions they made with some of the characters, not LeFou, I'm talking about some other characters. The new songs, they were just all unnecessary. Every time one of these things happened, I was like, oh my god, can we get back to what I love about Beauty and the Beast, please? In the end, this version of Beauty and the Beast had some okay characters, some scenes that I really enjoyed, but most of them I was like, No. I'm not about to get the soundtrack. And visually, it was fine. Although there were some scenes that really hurt my eyes. It was like panning around a large room and it was really blurry. I was like, I couldn't focus on anything. It was weird. I would say if you have a young daughter or niece, take them to this film because they might really like it, but I don't really know about that because it might bore them a couple of scenes. I hate to say this, but for Beauty and the Beast, I will say, wait until you can watch this movie on Netflix. It bums me out that there are so many more of these live action remakes planned. I really don't know if any of them are gonna be good at all. I don't know. So what is your favorite Disney animated film? I know I've asked that before, but we have new subscribers at this point. So your favorite Disney animated film, whatever it is, go ahead and leave a comment. And don't forget to subscribe.